Hey, and welcome back to more Post to Post. We're going to do the highly requested World War II trivia. Lots of people in the comment section have been requesting this. We've done the Where Am I trivia, we've done U.S. state trivia, we've done European trivia, we've done all kinds of trivia. Finally, we're going to do some war trivia. World War II, I was going to say you love war. Nobody loves war. You love the history behind conflicts and country.
Yeah, I've read up on it. A
little bit. So
Yeah,
you know your stuff.
I think
Watch a lot of Jeopardy.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Jeopardy. I think I can hold my own in a conversation about, the 20th century warfare, especially the warfare in Europe. A little bit of Pacific. But.
Well, hopefully you'll do pretty well. I have 12 questions.
12 questions.
12 questions.
All right.
None are multiple choice. I need the answer. I want the answer. Now, I'm not giving you any hints. Well, I might give you a few hints if you're really struggling. But I'll go through these. You guys can play along at home.
Please do.
Write down your answers. Let us know how you did in the comment section later on. That would be awesome. That's the entire point of this video. The reason why we're filming ourselves doing this and not just doing it off camera. Because that is something that we would do is have trivia off camera. But we want to include you guys because we want you to play along. So if you do that, that would be awesome. You ready?
Let's have a go.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Question number 1. What two countries were already involved in a military conflict before the beginning of World War II? So what two countries?
Germany invaded the Sudetenland in western Czechoslovakia in 1938. But this isn't limited to Europe, is it? Because I think Japan was into Manchuria in the 1930s as well.
Where's Manchuria?
China.
Oh.
I'm gonna say Japan and China.
The correct answer is actually Japan and China. Well done. Maybe you do know what you're talking about.
Maybe it's not a myth after all.
Question number 2. What was the longest battle of World War II? The longest.
The siege of Leningrad was very long. That was like over a year.
Is that the one where like a lot of Soviet Union soldiers died?
A lot of civilians died too. Leningrad was basically cut off by the Germans from all supplies.
Was it Stalingrad that was the...
Stalingrad was it wasn't a long battle, but it was a very brutal battle.
Costly, yeah.
Costly. The Russians made a stand, and their most famous stand was in this place called the Tractor Factory, where they dug in this big tractor factory right on the bank of the river, and they said, we're not being pushed out of here. You can try. And the Germans came in to try to attack downtown. The Russians made a move around them on both sides and encircled them.
Wow.
Over, I think, 600,000 German troops were encircled by Russians.
Wow.
I think Paulus was the general there, and he eventually had to sign off. Yeah. But I think Leningrad was a longer siege. I don't know if you'd call it a battle. It was more of a siege, but I'm trying to think of a battle, like you fight and you fight and you battle. I'm going to say Leningrad.
The correct answer is Battle of the Atlantic. So a little...
okay.
A little...
That's fair.
It's not your first thing you think of.
No.
As far as battle, but it kind of makes sense if you think about it after.
Yeah, there was lots of ships sunk and convoys and submarine stuff going on.
That's a continual battle, basically. The entire war.
Like to me, when I think of battle, I think of an event.
Right.
Like Midway, Battle of the Coral Sea.
Battle of the Bulge.
Battle of the Bulge, it has a start point and an end point. The Battle of the Atlantic was kind of this long-running show of occasional things happening.
Occasional things.
Yeah. All right, I'll take it.
Question number 3. In which battle did the Axis powers lose about a quarter of their total troops on the Eastern Front?
I would say Stalingrad for that one.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You are right. Well done.
Boom.
2 for 3 so far.
So far, I'm in the plus.
Question number 4.
Okay.
What was the name of the B-29 bomber that dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima?
That was called the Enola Gay.
You are correct.
Would you like to know the name of the one that dropped on Nagasaki?
I forget.
It's called the Boxcar.
I know that because they named the bombs too. I was trying to think.
Oh yeah, it's Fat Man, Little Boy.
Yeah.
The Boxcar, by the way, its original target, I think, was Kyoto. But it was cloudy and they couldn't see the target, so they went to their alternate, which was Nagasaki.
Huh.
But for the weather,
Crazy.
Man, it's bad stuff. But
that's why it doesn't happen anymore.
thank God. Yeah.
Question number 5.
All right.
What country lost the most lives in World War II?
Probably some different countries might claim this, but I think the truthful claim would be Russia.
You are correct. The Soviet Union lost.
I think it was like 25 million people.
27. Something like that.
2 million is
crazy.
2 million here or there, like a lot.
Question number 6.
Okay, halfway almost.
What research and development project produced the first nuclear weapons during World War II?
That would be called the Manhattan Project.
That would be called the Manhattan Project. You are correct. Boom. I think you're 5 for 6.
I think I am.
Wow.
One more and I get 50% at least, then I can poop the bed for the rest of it.
Exactly. Okay, question number 7.
I love these.
What country sent reinforcements in the form of Division Azul to aid Germany in its World War II attack on the Soviet Union? Azul or Azul, however you pronounce it.
A-Z-U-L?
Yes. So what country?
The Germans had some help from some of the countries in the East. That has almost a Middle Eastern sound to it. So I have no idea. I've never heard of this before. I'm just a total throwing a dart. This is a guess, and I'm going to say Turkey.
The correct answer is Spain.
Ah.
Spain helped the Germany.
Yeah, Spain was officially neutral in the war. They had a civil war in the 1930s that Germans supported General Franco in winning that, but then Spain officially stayed out of the war, but they were friendly with the Germans. Right.
Okay. Question number 8. What was the code name for the Battle of Normandy?
We call it D-Day, but you don't want that.
It's Operation something.
Right. Here's the funny part. I know the code name for the battle of when they went up through Holland,
Harlem.
including Harlem, but up to Arnhem and up that way. And that was Operation Market Garden.
Oh.
But
but you don't know this one is what you're saying.
I think I do know it.
Oh.
But I can't remember it. Like the minute you tell me, I'm going to go, Overlord.
Whoa.
Overlord.
Yes, you're right. It's Operation Overlord.
It was there somewhere. It had to just wind around and find its way out.
Wow.
Overlord.
That is impressive. I think you're 6 for 8, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I got 2 wrong at least.
Yeah, something like that.
Whew.
Question number 9.
Okay.
What was the last major battle of World War II?
Well, World War II is really two different wars. There's Europe.
Right.
The last major battle in that war was really the Battle of Berlin.
Yeah, and then there's the Pacific.
The battle for Berlin. In the Pacific, it would be an island really close to Japan. Now I'm trying to think if that'd be Iwo Jima or Okinawa. Iwo Jima was a big deal. Okinawa was a pretty big deal too. It's just I'm gonna Okinawa.
The correct answer is Battle of Okinawa. Well done. You are on fire. Okay. What meeting of world powers near the end of World War II is often said to mark the beginning of the Cold War?
Yalta.
The correct answer is the Yalta Conference. You're blowing my mind here. Well done. Okay.
Oh, here it comes.
What was the code name for the Battle of Okinawa?
Oh, man.
It's
Operation something?
Operation something, yeah. This is tough.
Unlike the last one, where I knew that if once you told me I'd know it, and I
Yeah.
would be upset with myself, and then I managed to get it before I ran out of time.
Correct?
In this case, I have absolutely no blessed idea.
All right.
And I think if you do tell me the right answer, I'm just going to go, oh, who knew? So I'm going to come up with a name just because I have to try something. Operation...
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
And this might not be a good hit because I'm not exactly familiar with this part of the world, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Okay.
What's something you would never see off the coast of Japan?
What? Something you would never
Something
see.
you'd never see off the coast of Japan.
Penguin. A penguin.
Close.
Operation Penguin.
Operation Iceberg.
Ah! Oh, there. Okay. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. And I'd never heard of that operation before.
Now you know.
Now I know. That's great because I do want to learn something in this process, not
You
just...
just did.
Yeah.
Question number 12, the last question. The U.S. military purchased over 150 million pounds of which popular food to feed its troops?
Popular food?
Which popular food? Over 150 million pounds. 150 million pounds of this to feed its troops.
It's got to be something that's not easily perishable, that will survive long trips, lots of storage. Now, some of me wants to say Spam, which is meat in a can with a little key that, you open it up
Yeah.
and you can eat it. But
Are you questioning whether that was invented?
a little bit. The other thing is, if meat comes in a can, that can is made from metal that the Americans would probably rather turn into airplanes and bullets.
Ah,
So I'm wondering if canned food was really a wise thing in the war.
trying to see if they would justify using the extra
Yeah.
tin or whatever it is.
Yeah. But you say popular food. I don't think Spam was all that popular. It was useful and edible. I've had Spam. I actually quite don't mind it. It's
Not for me.
it's all right. It's not like Vegemite, thank goodness. So the fact you say it's popular suggests that maybe it's not Spam. So it was how much?
Over 150 million pounds.
And they produced it? Did they manufacture it or just harvest it? Did they pick it off the trees?
The U.S. military purchased over 150 million pounds.
Popular. That's what's driving me crazy.
Is that term, yeah.
It is. It's driving me crazy. Popular. I don't know that anything that soldiers were forced to eat during World War II would be called popular. I'm going to go back and say Spam. Spam.
Well, the correct answer is actually Spam.
No, really? Oh my
Spam.
God. Oh my goodness. I was going to pivot to beans. I thought, no, that wouldn't be any good. They come in a can too. So, the heck, I'll say Spam. Holy smokes.
Well done.
Well, that
I'm
was
impressed.
total luck
I
there.
think you got 9 or 10 out of 12.
Whew.
Maybe 10 out of 12, I think.
I really, really enjoyed that. And it's important to not forget the good and the bad about things like wars because, the old adage, those who don't remember history are doomed to repeat it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And World War II was a bad deal. There's still a few people around who were there. I was born about 15 years after it ended, or less than that, I guess, a little bit. And I get, sometimes I think, when I was a kid, like just doing ceremonies as a Boy Scout or a Cub, even a Cub Scout, at Remembrance Day, we would line up at the cenotaph, which would be like Veterans Day in the U.S. And I'm thinking back now, some of the people that were in the crowd or participating there and watching us with holding our flags at the right time and lowering them and raising them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those people would have fought in World War One.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they were still young enough to not be retired yet.
Yeah.
And now every single one of them is dead.
Mm.
And not too long from now, World War II soldiers will start to precipitously fall off in terms of who's around.
Pretty crazy.
It is crazy.
So I guess you were born in the tail end of the Korean War?
It was over actually by then. It went from 1950 to 53. I was born in 59.
Oh, I didn't realize it was.
Yeah, I was
early
born
50s.
during the Cold War.
And then
Yeah.
you got to experience, well, not you didn't experience, but Vietnam.
I remember the Vietnam War vividly, watching the news every night, Walter Cronkite reading the body counts from Vietnam, and I remember vividly Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy being shot in 68, the election in 68, and of course from 68 to about 72 for me it was all about NASA.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All about NASA.
69 was a big year.
Yeah.
So.
August of 1965 is the first launch I can remember. That was a Gemini 5. And they went up just experimentally. This is before any of the moonshots were attempted. And I was born actually before the first human being ever went into space. And I still consider myself a young person who doesn't know what he wants to be when he grows up. And now we've been in space for over 50 years. It's crazy.
It is actually pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's nuts.
Well, that wraps up this video.
I love that. Thank you. And please, and I'm not saying they're too hard or too easy. I think I just got lucky in a lot of those. But that's the level of question I really like, because sometimes I do have to think out loud, and some of them are just guesses.
Well, you know your stuff, that's for sure. You're a smart dude, so it's fun to do that. Maybe we'll do part 2 sometime in the future.
I hope so.
Would you want to do World War I trivia?
That would be a lot tougher for me, because I wasn't exposed to as much media about World War One. And World War One, whereas World War II had a lot of motion going on, there was lots of things happening on different fronts. World War One, for a long, long time, was a stalemate.
Yeah.
You dug your trenches, you sat there, you just lobbed bombs at each other.
Yeah, it's an endurance match.
Yeah, and Christmas Eve, you'd get out and play volleyball with the Germans, shake their hand, have a nice day, and then go back the next day. World War One was like really frigging awful.
Yeah.
Frigging awful. It was disease, it was cold, it was mud, it was just brutal. And no ground was gained. Millions of lives lost, and not an inch of ground really changed hands, and it was just awful. Anyway, war is awful, period. The Peloponnesian Wars were awful.
Damn those Peloponnesian Wars.
Man.
Unacceptable. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you can hit the subscribe button if you're not already to see future trivia videos and all kinds of other stuff we have on this channel. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the next one. Adios.